Okay, we are going to be shifting our service times in order to make it possible for more people to know Jesus. Lakeview Church is shifting in November. So our 9 o'clock service is going to start at 9:45, and our 11 o'clock service is going to start at 11:30. Right, so there's a difference there. We're still going to have 75-minute services like normal, and we're still going to have kids checking in about 15 minutes before service. But you'll notice with those two start times, things are going to be a little different in terms of when kids come. So let's take a peek and see how that will affect you as part of the kids team. So we already know that our service times are starting at 9:45 and 11:30, which if we go 15 minutes backwards, that's when the kids come. Kids arrive 15 minutes before service starts. So if we go back in time, the kids come at 9:30 and 11:15, which means, just like before, you need to be here no later than 15 minutes before service starts because the kids will be here 9:30 and 11:15. Super important for us to be there. So again, service time starts 9:45 to 11:30, which means that the services will end at 11 o'clock and 12:45. Another way of looking at this is thinking about the first service starting at 9:45, but yeah, that means kids will be here at 9:30. Service goes till 11 o'clock, and then the second service will start. The kids will come at 11:15, service at 11:30, and finally it ends at 12:45. So what you'll notice about this one is that this part right here, from 11 o'clock to 11:30, that window is going to be a transition time where we will continue to have kids ministry while they're picking up from 11 to 11:15, and then the kids are arriving from 11:15 to 11:30 and beyond. So this transition time we'll want to talk about really quickly here. So during transition time, it's really important for our first team, the 9:45 team, to stay until you're relieved. So if you're used to coming at the first service and then leaving once your room's all cleaned up, hey, guess what? Your room's not going to be cleaned up because the next service is coming straight into it. So you're going to stay there until your partner on the second service team comes in. So that 11:30 team is going to come here 15 minutes before. So just like you would normally be waiting to clean up and get all your kids picked up 15 minutes after service, you'll keep doing that at the 9 o'clock, or I'm sorry, the 9:45. You'll keep doing that, and then the 11:30 team, this is going to take me a while to figure this out. The 11:30 team is going to be doing the same. They're going to be coming in early, and you're going to have a handoff in the classroom or in the gym. And it's very, very important to get there early so that you can complete the handoff and make sure that your teammate is supported. In the event that a team member isn't there, or let's say you need to leave early, or let's say there's only one kid left, and you're like, do I really have to wait here for just this one kid? You have options, and we're going to show you some of those options in a second. Staff and coaches do have options for if there's only one or two or three kids and it's the end of the first service and we're like, why are we holding all these volunteers? We don't have to hold all the volunteers. We can do things like combine classes so that all of the kids are just in one room or in one area. We can move the kids up to the check-in desk. So if there's that one staff kid or that two pastor's kids that still haven't been picked up, we could take them up to the check-in desk. Or we could go ahead and call the parents. We can text them. We can hunt them down. We do this every single week when we're trying to find parents that haven't picked up their kids. So we will still have all of those options. But if there's a family that, let's say, is staying for two services because they're serving one and worshiping one, we'll have the capacity and the ability to keep those kids through the first service and into the second service. Now, this does mean that it is possible for a very, very, very late parent to have a pickup in the beginning of the second service. So for instance, if service ends at 11 and it's all the way to 11:30 and the parent still hasn't picked up because they're in prayer ministry or something and they're picking up at 11:35 or 11:40, In the element or early childhood area, that's not such a big deal because we have the activity centers. In the elementary service, it is a little bit of an interruption because we've already started service. We are going to continue to start service right at 11:30, but the service agenda is structured so that the lighter activities are at the beginning. So games, get to know you, going over the rules, those kind of things, as opposed to the actual teaching components or the actual worship, which generally doesn't start until 15 minutes after the service has started. So in the new agenda, you'll see that the worship songs and some of those more spiritually significant activities will start, like now, 15 minutes afterwards, so that'd be 11:45, and we really won't have parents picking up at 11:45. That'd be 45 minutes after service has ended. At that point, if they're staying for second service, they're just going to stay for the whole service. So we don't anticipate many interruptions from that regard, but it is something that we're going to watch and make sure in the elementary side that we don't have a lot of interruptions. If we do, we can make some adjustments to how we structure our service beginning. Okay, but when will we meet for prayer or announcements? We do that in our huddles right now before each service, but how are we going to do that with this new time change? Yeah, it's going to be different, and we've got some great ideas, and I'd love your feedback because we're going to try some things. We're not sure on what the best way will be for our team, but we have some thoughts on it. So what we're going to start with is prayer. We're going to start with prayer at 9:15. This will be for both services, whether you're serving at second or first service. At 9:15, we will still meet and we'll still pray so that our kids are covered in prayer and so that you are supported as a team. We won't be able to do this at the end of second service because everybody's going to need to leave. We won't be able to do it before second service because the first service will still be ending and picking up kids. But we will do prayer at 9:15 on Sundays for the entire kids team. Second, the question of, well, when are we going to meet and go over announcements and that kind of thing? So we will be sending video announcements each week. And so you'll have a 3 to 5 minute video from yours truly about whatever the announcements are for that week. And so we won't be having our in-person meetings before each service. Again, if this doesn't work out, we can make an adjustment, but we're going to try shifting our meetings to online videos. Now, I know that they'll be really easy to ignore or to miss or to skip, but I'm going to ask for your help in actually watching 3 minutes, 4 minutes each weekend before you come to church so that we're all still on the same page. Your coaches will also be lifelines during this time. So if you miss something or you feel like you're out of touch, you can ask them, hey, what have I missed? I was out the past 2 weeks, or I didn't watch this week's video, and they will help you, okay? So we're going to rely on our coaches and the strength of our leadership team to help get out information to everybody. Change doesn't have to be scary or intimidating. It can be exciting when you remember the purpose for the change. And in this case, we're doing this so that more people can know about Jesus. We really believe that God is stirring something in our community and in our city, and he's using Lakeview to do it. And so this is one of the things that we are changing as a church to help more people know Jesus and have that opportunity to come to church and hear about the freedom that Jesus Christ offers. I hope that's something you're passionate about. It's why we lead at the church. It's why we're serving every week, so that families can find freedom and hope in Jesus. If you do have questions about how this time shift will affect you personally, please let your coach know or let a staff member know. We're here to support you, and we're so thankful for what you are doing every week to help the next generation know Jesus. We appreciate you. We'll see you around at church hopefully very soon. God bless.